Hey, what's up guys, Darkbreaker here and welcome to this new patch tier list for 2.5. And as you guys can see, I'm already putting champions like Jayce, Caitlyn and Veigar into this tier list. It's more like a prediction, obviously I haven't played them, but thinking about how strong they are and their kit into this current meta, I think if the base stats of those champions are not very bad, but let's say they're pretty solid, I would say these predictions might be accurate or should be accurate. But anyways, these tier lists are all my personal opinion for solo queue. How good those champions are at carrying the game. Obviously, you have to stay tuned or watch the entire video if you guys want explanation for each champion. So if you guys are just watching straight up and just keep skipping, you probably won't understand the tier list like without my explanation. So if you guys want the in-depth explanation, then definitely watch the entire video, and if not, then just skip to the time stamps I'm gonna put into the video. But anyways, let's get started with the Baron lane. I forgot to put Cannon, but Cannon would be A tier. If you guys are wondering, some people will write in the comments, hey, where's Cannon? And if you guys writing in the comments, you probably didn't even watch the video. It's bad, man. Anyways, so for S+, Tryndamere got probably the biggest change in patch 2.5. He gets a 50% attack speed steroid on his passive at level 1 without any downside. I guess the only downside is his base AD is slightly nerfed, but at level 8, I think level 8 is like the break-even point where you will get more AD than before the patch. And then attack speed is lowered by 10% in the early game, but you get 50% in the passive, and your Q heals more. Your rage works better. With less fury, you will get more crit. So in the early game, it's definitely a mix between buff and nerf. But overall, in the late game, when your ultimate is level 3, or you have 3 points into ultimate, you get 75% attack speed on Tryndamere for free for 5 seconds. 5 seconds buff attack speed whenever you hit a champion. Last 5 seconds, cooldown 6 seconds. So you have it 24/7 basically. A 75% attack speed buff. Do you guys realize? So this is a free Tristana Q, by the way. This is so broken. I believe it's between S or S+. I'm not sure. I'm gonna say right now, this is an insane buff for Tryndamere. Might be S+, might be S tier. I tend to put him S+ tier for now. A for the clickbait, and B, I think the attack speed steroid is crazy, and Tryndamere was before that already underrated. Obviously, it depends on the enemy team comp if they have a lot of CC, but if they don't, I think you should steamroll in the late game for free. Jayce is probably one of the strongest duelists and one of the strongest early game champions, and his snowballing and his entire kit is just crazy. So in the early game, I think you will dominate almost any laner without any weakness. I think Camille can hold her own when she puts fleet and some points into the second ability. But besides that, Jayce is gonna shitstorm every single top laner right now. If the base stats are not complete shit, I think he's gonna be S+ tier for sure. This is, I don't see a scenario where Jayce is not gonna be at least S tier. S or S+ tier. I think he's gonna be S+ tier. Like, he doesn't have any bad matchups compared to any of those champions here. He's just so strong in the early game. Late game poke damage is crazy. And yeah, unfortunately, he's not coming out immediately. But I think S+ for Jayce, pretty accurate. But at least minimum S. And if his base stats are not shit, he's S+. So afterwards, Fiora, I think she is the strongest early game laner besides Jayce. And super dominant. I think no champion can handle him or handle her pretty well. So that's why I put her S+. And she has, with a Marshvll build I showed you guys in my recent video or recent Fiora guide. yeah, this champion is gonna be so crazy strong. 1 vs 9 scaling. Only weakness might be late game team fighting, but you can keep split pushing, and if you get the early game lead, you should be able to dominate the game. Besides that, you have a new combo now. You can protoball Q, Q protoball or Q flash. Unlike before, if you guys want to see the guide or new flash combo for Fiora or protoball combo, this is a combo that doesn't even exist in LoL PC. Only in Wild Rift, because they changed the flash mechanic. So if you guys want to see new flash mechanic videos, then write it down below in the comments. It's not only for Fiora, it's for champions like Riven, Lee Sin. Only like very high skill champion with skill shots can abuse the flash combo now, which is not even available on LoL PC, so you guys understand. Anyways, next one, Camille. Very solid laner, super consistent, great split push, great 1 vs 1, great team fighting, has the ultimate to lock people up, great utility with the hookshot and mobility. Darius, decent in lane, but his 1 vs 9 potential is just crazy in team fights. You get one reset, you can wipe the entire team, so that's why I put him in S+. Remember, this is not only high elo, I also consider low elo, and Darius is definitely a shit stomper in anything below diamond. He is shit stomping 1 vs 9. And even above diamond, like diamond master, challenger, you can definitely 1 vs 9 on this champion. Riven, slight nerf on Riven, definitely still very strong. I feel like she doesn't have the craziest 1 vs 9 potential, because if she faces CC, she is, first of all, not the tankiest compared to Darius, who is just tanky and does tons of damage. Riven does tons of damage, is a little bit tanky because of Sterox Gauge and Death Dance, but besides that, S tier sounds pretty solid for me. Renekton, solid laner, very strong laner, good in teamfight, good bruiser, S tier. Akali, I'm not sure if she's actually S tier. I would say S- or A+. Because her early game is just so weak in the Baron lane, but she definitely has the teamfight potential. Her teamfighting is still very good. She got the nerf onto the passive. Her mobility is kinda meh, but I would still say she is S- A+. Next one, there is no order for these champions, but Lee Sin, strong laner, good at snowballing, definitely viable with a burst build or tanky build. Jax, great split pusher, decent in lane, but I feel like he needs to come into the late game, and if the game ends before that, he's not that strong in the early game. I think A is fine, because his consistency is not that great. Pantheon, 1 vs 9 potential in the late game is just shit. Some people will say, no, he's good in late game. No, he's not good in late game. Early game, he needs to snowball. If he doesn't snowball, he is pretty useless in teamfights later on. Like, sure, you have your ultimate, you have one stun, but you're squishy, and you definitely need to snowball on this champion in the early game, so you can be useful in the mid game, and then late game you fall off. You just fall off on this champion very hard. That's why I don't like him too much. A tier should be fine. Gragas, you can play him AP, you can play him tank. Tank Gragas got nerfed. I don't think it's that strong anymore, and his carry potential is not insane. I would even say the AP Gragas build is better at carrying in solo queue. Garen, I wasn't sure if I put him A or S tier. I think he's still fine in the lane, but I guess he gets kited a lot, and the Vayne Lulu meta is just shitting on him right now, so that's why A tier should be fine. Still definitely a strong laner, great tank, decent damage. Malphite, depends on the team comp. Great champion against physical champions. Late game, you are just an ultimate bot, nothing else. So you're relying on your teammates to carry you. Like, I don't really like tank champions in solo queue too much, because you are very reliant on your teammates to do anything, and if your teammates are useless, you can't carry. Because you can hit a 5-minute ultimate, but it doesn't matter if your teammates don't do damage. So that's why I just put A tier. The exact same for Wukong. If you play Wukong in the top lane, sure, you can play him bruiser, but this champion is so reliant on your teammates as well. Like, you go in, you activate your ultimate, and then you want your teammates to combine the ultimate knockup with their damage, and then you can win. Laning phase, he's okay, but not the strongest. He will fall off in the 1v1 and he can't hold the split pushers. But definitely team fighting wise, he has great potential. 80 sounds fine for me. Sounds fine to me. Diana, I think she's a solid laner. She has great teamfight potential, but she gets outscared in the 1v1, I would say, against a bunch of champions, and isn't the strongest in the early game. Graves is a situational pick depending on the enemy pick and the enemy team comp. Overall, a solid pick. Aurelia is a solid pick, skill-based champion. One thing I don't like about her is that she falls off in the late game, and if you play against CC, then Aurelia will have problems, big problems. Jarvan, I think he can be a good weak side champion, poking people, and then you are a decent frontline and engage in team fights. Olaf, yeah, decent bruiser, has the damage in 1v1, but I feel like he needs to kind of snowball, and if you don't snowball, then in team fights you are not that useful, and you just get poked down, and you just get poked down in team fights and kited. That's why I don't like him too much on the Baron lane. Like, if you don't snowball on Olaf in team fight, you will have problems. Every time you join a team fight, you just pop so quickly. If you're not ahead, you need to be ahead on this champion. Galio, I think he's solid in the Baron lane. His ultimate is great for joining team fights. He can hold the lane pretty well. A good weak side top laner. Alistar, I said it. It's B. Because the issue is you want to join teamfights every single time and engage and tank, but as a Baron laner, if you play against split push, they can hold you in the lane, and if you roam, you lose your turrets, etc. So that's why I just beat here. Mundo doesn't feel too strong, honestly. I think it's okay, but I feel like the games where it's working is because people don't buy anti-heal, but if people buy anti-heal, he's not that amazing. Like, Fiora shits on him, Jax shits on him, Darius shits on him, Camille shits on him. I don't know, man, that I just beat here. Same applies for Nasus. Everyone shits on Nasus. Everyone shits on Nasus. He needs to farm. He doesn't have any crowd control besides the slow. It's like, I don't know. He's so reliant on AFK farming. That's why I don't like him. You need to impact in the game early on. If you're farming, you're so reliant on your teammates to not int and do decent on the other side of the map. It's like, I don't know. Since he just gets bullied by every single champion. And Liandry got nerfed. I think he's beat here. Lucian situational, Vayne situational. In solo queue, if the jungler camps you, you just get fucked for free. Same applies for Teemo, who's even weak in the early game right now. A lot of champions shit on him, and if enemy jungler camps him, he's just useless. Ramos just, I don't know, bad wave clear, and a lot of tanks do a better job than him. Akshan, I feel like in the top lane, he is not as good as in the mid lane. A lot of champions shit on him 1v1, and if he gets ganked, he's just getting snowballed. Rengar is shit in the lane. I feel like if I explain everything too long, the video will go 1 hour, so I'm gonna try to keep it quicker. Anyways, next one is gonna be jungle. Lee Sin, even though he got a slight change or slight nerf, he is still very broken. Tons of utility, early game ganking god, playmaking potential. Lee Sin, S+ tier, Kha'Zix, S+ tier, super broken. Olaf, I made a video, or I'm gonna make a video pretty soon. Again, I would say he is super fucking strong. He has very great 1v9 potential because you can run people down, tons of lifesteal, true damage, you can ignore CC, S+ tier. But he relies on snowballing as well. I think S+ is fine. If you pick him into the right comp, he's always S+ tier. Riven, even though she got a nerf, I would still say she's very broken. Every time I play this champion, she's just, her damage is crazy. Her everything about her is so good. I don't see one negative thing. I guess if you don't have a tank, she might have problems to find the right engage or to kill people, or she will get kited. But overall, I would say Sterox, Gage, you have the flash combo now, you have the Protobelt combo. It's gonna be easier to reach the backline now with changes on flash and Protobelt. So even though her early game might be weaker, she's still very broken. Tryndamere. The early game jungle clear is definitely weaker now because of the minus 10 attack speed. Base AD is reduced in the early game, so his jungle clear is weaker, but his scaling is crazy. I'm not even sure if he's maybe S+ tier, that's the thing. I feel like he could be S+ tier in jungle. I'm putting him S tier right now because of the jungle clear. I'm not sure about the jungle clear. I think it's still, like, he had a very good jungle clear before this, and now with the changes, I think it's still a solid jungle clear. And his late game scaling is nuts. He's the new Master Yi. He's literally the new Master Yi. I believe he might be S+ tier. I'm putting him S tier right now because I'm not sure about the jungle clear. I think the jungle clear is still decent, and his late game scaling for 1 vs 9 might be, I think he might be S+ tier. I'm putting him here as a minimum, with potential to be S+ tier, so you guys understand. Evelynn solo queue. I hate Evelynn solo queue. Every single person is feeding to Evelynn. No one knows how to play against Evelynn. Hey, let's overextend. I have a ward and then feed. Oh my god. Evelynn is so good at snowballing because everyone's just stupid. I don't think she's that good. I just think people are just too stupid and she can snowball too easily. That's why I put her S tier. It's not because I think she's that good. I think people are just too stupid. That's why I put her S tier. Nunu. Even though he got nerfed, he's still S tier. The only downside I see is that he's a tank. You can go for Bruce, a hybrid build, but usually most people go for a tank build, and then you lack damage. Relying on your teammates to be useful if you go tank build. I think you should go hybrid build. Xin Zhao. I wasn't sure if I put him S+ tier. I think S tier should be fine. Solid jungler overall. Rengar is the same like Evelynn, just free snowball. Free snowball, one shot. One shot, one shot, one shot, one shot. Like, anything below diamond, it's 1 vs 9. Free city, free elo. Above diamond, I would still say, still very easy to snowball games. Still very easy to snowball games. You get one first blood, you snowball the game. Out of hand. Wukong, I wasn't sure if I put him S or A tier. I think he's a very solid, strong jungler. Sounds good, right? Jayce. I wasn't sure how good he's gonna be. This is my prediction. If his jungle clear is not bad, he might be S or S. He might be S tier. If his jungle clear is good, he might be S tier. But I'm just putting him A tier for minimum. I know on PC, on LoL PC, he was popular in the jungle for a while, so he's definitely, I think he can be viable. And a lot of champions are more viable in Wild Rift because it's easier to jungle, and the camps are easier to do than on PC. I think he can be A tier. He has so much, he's level 3, his kit is so loaded. He's gonna shit on everyone level 3, and he can snowball very easily. Tons of poke, tons of damage, his melee form, he jumps in, boom, boom, knocks you back. He can use knockback into flash, so he knocks you forward and then flash, so you get knockback. Easy gank, by the way. You dash, and then you knock back into flash. Easy gank, by the way. And then you just nuke them with your range form. Vi, A tier, solid jungler, good utility, nothing more. Fiora. Strong duelist in the jungle early game, but I feel like her ganks are not that good. Pantheon, great early game, jungle, snowballer. If you don't snowball, you're shit. Graves, you need to AFK farm. Jarvan, yeah, pretty balanced and good jungler. Decent jungle clear, decent fighting potential at Scuttle. Good engage, good tank, lack of damage, not 1 vs 9 potential. Aurelia has the 1 vs 9 potential, but her ganks are not the craziest. Her ganks are okay. Her level 3 is okay, but she falls off. She just falls off. Every single argument is just she falls off. She just falls off. And also, if you play against CC comps, she is just not that good. Camille, I'm not even sure if she's just B tier. I've talked with other people. I think Camille might still be viable if you go W max, so the second ability. Because I've been told Leon was using second ability on Camille, but the removal of the attack speed on the third ability is definitely gonna hurt her jungle clear. She still has the utility of the ultimate, which makes her good, but her jungle clear is gonna be so bad. I'm putting her A-, but she might be B tier. Like, the whole plan of Camille is, from Riot, is to get her out of the jungle. I think she can still be played in the jungle, but not as good anymore. Her jungle clear is gonna be so bad. I put her A-, but she might be B. She might be B tier only. Shyvana, even though Shyvana got buffed, the meta doesn't suit her. She's just a coin flip dragon jungler. Ramos, coin flip. I don't know. I don't like Ramos because he's slow clear. He's just a ganking bot. If your ganking works, he's shit. And if your teammates are shit, you are it's GG. Go FF. Darius, I just put him for fun. Yeah, I think he's okay. Jungle clear is okay. Scuttle fight is okay. He can get kited, and his ganks are not the craziest. I think he's okay. Akshan, better in the mid lane. He's okay in the jungle. Jungle clear is kind of shit. Mundo, I wasn't sure if I put him A or B tier. I'm gonna put him B tier because they nerf his jungle clear. Diana, even though they buffed her jungle clear a bit, I feel like it's by 10% on the passive. It's nothing. She's still way better in the mid lane. Jax, jungle clear, meh, but 1 vs 9 potential is there. Between B or A, I'm just gonna put him B tier for now. Gragas, I think Gragas is not bad. I don't know about Gragas. I haven't jungled on Gragas for a long time, and I haven't seen any Gragas jungle, so I'm putting him B tier. I think AP Gragas jungle is still okay. Master Yi, I feel like he just doesn't fit in the meta right now. So much CC. And Veigar, oh god, how do you play against Veigar? FF, go next. How do you play against Veigar, by the way? Veigar CC is just gonna cock block you every single game. Singe jungle video coming up soon. Honestly, it's B tier, but I put him C tier because you guys will flame me otherwise. Honestly, it's B tier. His jungle kill is not bad, his gankings are pretty OP, and people underestimate his jungle and ganking potential. Fizz jungle kill is just dog shit. Amumu is just dog shit. Just so shit. Every single jungler shits on him. He never gets 2 scuttles. He just gets shit on. He just gets bullied. Anyways, mid lane. Okay, next one. Yeah, for the mid lane, Ziggs, absolute broken, even though they nerfed the passive a little bit in the mid game, doesn't matter. Diana, 1 vs 9 potential, crazy. Galio, just so good. Katarina below Diamond, 1 vs 9 super shit stomper. I think if I only count high elo, maybe just S tier. But if I count the low elo as well, she is anything below Diamond, she is like the best champion. That's why S plus tier. Super crazy 1 vs 9 snowball champion. Veigar. I'm not sure if it's S or S plus. If his damage is good and he's not too squishy, he might be S plus tier. His cage is a game changer. His cage is a game changer in team fights. Any dragon or anything in the jungle or in the river, his cage is super fucking broken. It's just a great zoning tool. And if you catch people with the stun, it's just GG, go next. His stun is so broken. I feel like he might be S plus tier. I'm putting him S tier right here because I don't want to overestimate him, but I feel like he might be S plus tier. Twisted Fate, I know a lot of people put him S plus tier, but I think S tier is fine for him. He's a very good champion, but he's not the greatest in the late game. And he's also not the greatest 1 vs 9 champion. Look at Diana in the late game, for example, or Ziggs in the late game with his poke. Or Katarina, 1 reset wipes everyone. Galio, his CC, godly. His ultimate for rotation, godly. I know Twisted Fate has the ultimate for rotation and ganking and snowballing. But if your ganks are not working, then you wasted your ultimate for the next 2 minutes. And his late game is definitely not that good. I feel like catching and killing Twisted Fate is just so easy. Fizz. Great potential to carry and one-shot people. Irelia S tier. I think a lot of people snowball on her so hard, but fall off in the late game. Ari, even though I think she got a nerf, she still should be fine and strong. She has great catch potential, great mobility, overall great at snowboarding. Akali in teamfights still very broken. Brand, I'm not sure actually. A or S tier. His damage is nuts or not. I haven't seen Brand too much, but I feel like his damage output is still crazy. Corki overall very solid S tier champion in the mid lane forever. He didn't get changed, so I'm not changing him. Same for Akshan, same for Zed. They didn't get changed, so they stay S tier. They're all very good. Riven, I wasn't sure. I think A tier should be fine. She definitely has potential in the mid lane, especially against champions that are melee. Maybe against Veigar, Diana, Katarina, Twisted Fate, Fizz. Riven is pretty good. Yeah, so I'm putting A tier right here. But he has potential to be S tier. Do you guys know why A tier? Because 90% of the people are just feeding on Yasuo. That's why I put him A tier. If you're a skilled player, probably S tier, but I put him A tier right here. Because most of the times people are just annoying me and they're feeding. So if I promote him S tier, people will just keep feeding. So if you're a skilled player, S tier, sure, but otherwise A tier. Jayce, I'm not sure about Jayce mid lane. I'm not sure about Jayce mid lane. I feel like in the top lane you can dominate so many melee matchups. If you play against melee champions in the mid lane, I think he can be A or S tier. I put him A tier minimum for now, but he has potential to be better. I haven't played him, so that's just my prediction, by the way. Tryndamere mid lane is getting popular a lot on PC. Tryndamere is getting super popular, and he got buffed. The only reason I'm just putting A tier right now because I feel like against a bunch of matchups he might not be that good. But with a buff, maybe he could be better. A tier sounds fine to me. Annie. Ooh, the nerf. I don't know if you consider. I think it's more of a nerf. Might be a. I don't know. Tibbers got buffed, but the ultimate splash range got. Ultimate radius got nerfed, and the damage got nerfed, but Tibbers got buffed. I think it's a. No, it's a rebalance. It's a slight nerf, maybe. It could be a slight buff because Tibbers is OP now. Aurelion got a slight nerf. A tier should be fine. Great. Roma. Oriana. I think A tier is solid for her. Seraphine, A tier solid. Gragas isn't that good in the mid lane. He's okay. He's fine. I feel like support is his best role right now. Renekton into some elite champions, definitely viable. Same for Camille. Cannon. Oh, yeah. I think top lane is way better. Because you can abuse your range advantage compared to here, where you just get poked. I feel like he's okay-ish. Lux. I feel like she's better in the support role. Pantheon, B tier. Like, those champions I put in B tier are all situational. Caitlyn, situational. Might be viable in the mid lane, I'm not sure. I'm just putting her because I think she can be viable. I've seen a lot of people start playing Vi mid lane, like Snitch. But I feel like it's C. It's so situational, C tier. I've seen some great mid laners, but it's just shit. Against some melee matchups, sure, but most of the times you just get poked and shit on. AD. Saya got buffed recently. She's just super strong with Rakan. Varus super broken. And Vayne super broken with Lulu. Like, I feel like so many people are inflated with the Vayne pick right now. Varus just so solid and strong. Same for Saya. Caitlyn. I put her S tier for now, but I think she might be S plus tier. I put her S tier because she's overall from her kit very solid. She has the long range poke in the early game. She has the biggest range. Maybe Senna in the late game has bigger range, but overall at the early game she has the biggest range. She has traps for utility. She has a net for movement and dash. And she has the ultimate for cleanup. Overall, a solid ADC. Solid. If her damage is broken, S plus tier. If not, S tier. Corki, solid ADC. Kaiser. I mean, those champions are all very solid and good for ages. Kaiser, I feel like some people might put the S plus tier, but I think S tier is fair. S tier is very fair already. She's very, very good. Astro also late game scaling super strong. Early game maybe not the best. Draven very good at snowballing in the early game. Very like he's one of those champions that is not reliant on the support too much. So S tier. APC. AP carry. Ziggs. A tier. I feel like it's more like a pick in high elo, not in a solo queue. Not in solo queue low elo. And more likely, when you have an AD or AD champion in the mid lane, you can go AP Ziggs. Same for AP Orianna. Then Tristana, Jinx, Senna, Ashe, Lucian. They're all solid. Oh, did I forget Lucian in the mid lane? Wait, let me see. Oh, I forgot Lucian mid lane is S tier. Lucian mid lane S tier. They are all solid, but not that great compared to the others. Ashe has the utility, sure. Senna is a support, way better. Jinx, she's okay. She has 1 with 9 potential, definitely. But I don't know. I feel like she's not that consistent and that strong compared to the others. Tristana early game too weak, just too fucking weak early game. Lucian A tier on 2. I wasn't sure about Misfortune, by the way. It's A or B tier. I put her B tier for now because I feel like she isn't that popular right now. No one plays her anymore. Early game, she's strong. Late game, she just falls off. Jhin, no one plays Jhin. I have no idea about Jhin. No one plays Jhin. Literally no one plays Jhin. I have seen 1 Jhin maybe this entire season. Jayce, I've seen some people suggest Jayce and ADC, but I feel like nah. You could snowball with an aggressive support maybe. Snowball in the early game, but otherwise, I don't know. I've seen some Twisted, but I don't know about that one. I don't feel it. He just get outranged. Sure, you have the utility, but you don't have the damage compared to the other ADCs. Akshan, shit as ADC. Shit as ADC. Shit as ADC here. Shit. Just kidding. Yeah, you can write on your feedback in the comments if you guys agree with me or not. I feel like Misfortune is maybe 80, I'm not sure. I don't play ADCs too much. This is just my feeling when I play against them, which Misfortune is very easy to kill for me. Like I've never had one game where I had problem against a Misfortune. When I was fed and she was fed, I never had a problem. Senna has the utility. She can 1 vs 9 obviously. She can 1 vs 9 in late game obviously. But yeah, scaling. Utility. And easy to kill, very easy to kill. As is too weak against the other champions in the lane. Has a lot of dashes, better mid lane. Okay, now for supports. Lulu, absolute broken enchanter. Senna, very broken in combination with Nasus, for example. In combination with Galio, in combination with Gregor. Senna, very, very good in competitive and solo queue. Don't go crit Senna, by the way. You can go attack speed Senna, but not full crit Senna, please. And no mana immune Senna, please. Mana immune Senna for ADC, sure, but not as support. Nami, great peeler, great enchanter. Galio, great tank, support, tons of utility, same for Rakan. Those 3 or those 4 champions are great tanks with tons of engagement and utilities. Same for Braum actually. So I put them all in S tier, very solid. Janna, good enchanter. But I feel like Lulu is just so broken right now with Vayne. And Nami as well. Nami in combination with a poking ADC like Varus, just so broken. Janna's solid, but doesn't feel as strong. Leona seems like a solid tank, but it's just not as good as these tanks here. Nasus, I put him A tier, but only because he works with Senna very well in duo queue. But if you don't play duo queue and you don't have a Senna, when can you play Nasus then? Never. You can only play Nasus with Senna. That's the condition. These 2 together. Veigar. I feel like a tank Veigar build with a cage as your main, like you just spam tankiness and ability haste so you can get and spam the 3rd ability. Maybe viable. Alistar, good tank, good engage. Maybe he's S tier. I don't know why I put him A tier. Maybe because he gets kited and he gets poked down. Maybe that's why I put him A tier. Seraphine got buffed, I think still A tier, Sona A tier, Lux A tier. All very solid and poking champions. But they got nerfed, so they're not as strong anymore. And the meta is not in solo queue, it's more about you just enchant or you just go for full engage. These enchanters are so fucking good. Blitzcrank, too inconsistent. Soraka, too weak. Brand, too inconsistent and only with Senna. Annie, meh. Nunu, meh. I feel like Annie is just shit. And Nunu, I've seen some Nunu supports, but I don't feel it. I think he's way better in the jungle. But anyways, that's my tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I tried to not keep it too long this time, so that's why on some champions I didn't go for in-depth explanation because the video would go 1 hour. So that's why I tried to do a quick summary this time. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys enjoyed it, definitely leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.